January 13, Saturday. Mary's question 1. The Blessed Virgin Mary, the epitome of humility, faith, and obedience, does something that we do not typically associate with those virtues. She asks a question, how can this be, since I have no relations with a man? Of course, the whole point is that she asks the question in all humility, faith, and obedience. In so doing, she teaches us how to question, and thus how to think properly about our faith. And we have to think about our faith. Not to do so would be a disservice to the faith itself. God's revelation is addressed to rational creatures and must be received and responded to by such. Jesus Christ, the fullness of God's revelation, is the Logos, the word, idea, and or thought, made flesh. God is our reasonable worship, Romans 12:1. The failure to think warps and distorts the Catholic faith. It begets a superficial, superstitious, and brittle faith, apt to be shattered the first time someone asks a good question. Unthinking faithful become easy prey. They are the seed along the path. When anyone hears the word of the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what is sown in his heart. Matthew 13:19. An unthinking magisterium becomes tyrannical, not teaching God's word authoritatively, but just imposing its own power. Now, to appreciate Our Lady's question, we have to contrast it with Zechariah's question from earlier in Luke's Gospel, Luke 1:5-23. The angel Gabriel appeared to him in the temple. Standing at the altar, he announced the answer to Zechariah's prayers, the birth of John the Baptist. In response, Zechariah asked, "How am I to know this?" At first glance, his question seems similar, practically the same, as Mary's. But the difference is profound. How am I to know this? Well, God's messenger is standing in front of you. That should be evidence enough. If God's sending of an angel isn't enough, what will be? In modern terms, Zechariah's question would be something to the effect of, "Yeah, right," or, "Oh, yeah, prove it." He is not receptive to the truth being announced to him. Rather, he insists that God prove himself. Zechariah is a skeptic, not seeking to conform his mind to reality, but insisting that reality prove itself to his liking, which makes Zechariah an apt image of most modern thinkers. Mary's question is different. "How can this be?" could be translated, "How shall this be?" or even, "How is this going to be?" Point is, she accepts that what the angel said will be, but she also wants to know how. Mary first trusted, she had faith, that God's messenger spoke the truth. Then she wanted to understand how such a miraculous thing would occur. By far, Paul D. Scalia.